on a Friday. Welcome to Fired Up Live, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday afternoon in December 10th. The holidays are here.
Oh, I have to ask Quentin why he's checked out. He says, I'm here, but checked out.
Are you checked out because it's been a long week, Quentin, and you're just done, and that's okay, by the way.
Totally okay.
It's quite all right. There's nothing wrong with checking out. Sometimes you got to check out before you check back in. Because if you're checking in too much, if you don't check out, the check-in is really tough. So you got to check out before you check in.
That just
I also-
reminds me- I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies.
Me too.
And they could get really ridiculous and corny sometimes. So I was watching one, and a line that this guy said was, sometimes there's good things, and sometimes there's bad things. That was the line. That was it. I was like, okay, thanks for the
How prolific. Yes. I mean, I've been watching them too. I watched Arthur Christmas last night.
Arthur Christmas.
Yeah.
Like Arthur the cartoon?
Yeah.
Really?
Animated. It was a pretty good movie. I never watched it.
Where was it? I have to watch that.
Oh, on demand.
Where on demand? Everything's on demand.
If you go to on demand, Optimum I have. So you got to go to movies and then holiday movies.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there you have it. And I actually just recently watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with Steve Martin. I think. Is that what it is?
Really?
Yeah. Great movie. Have you not seen that with John Candy?
I have not.
Oh, man. I had Jenny watch it. She even cried at the end.
Oh.
Watch it.
But Quentin says this week was 30 days long.
I feel you. There are weeks that are like that. Yesterday was 30 days long for me. It happens. So check on out. But before you check out, check in here with Fired Up. We got you. We're going to hold you down for the next 15, 20 minutes or so.
Sure.
So Toys for Tots. We just got back from Costco. We have Rich Festa coming to pick those up on Tuesday, so hopefully we'll get to see him. I want to get him on camera if we can.
Sure.
Let him say hello to everybody, and nice little vlog, just something simple to show what we got going on here in Jersey and helping the kids. It's about the kids. It's all about the kids.
Oh yeah.
It's all about feeding the people.
Don't
feed the people, right?
Nope, wrong.
Wait, what is it?
I'm not singing. You can't.
So we just had a Christmas party this past weekend, and everyone got up and was singing that. You could see that in the new Christmas vlog we put up. Go to Maliki TV and check it out, and hit the subscribe. Don't be a freeloader. And I didn't know the words to that. I'm seeing people mouth the words, and it's like feed the people, and we always thought it was Jesus. Oh, I have no idea. So, and apparently it's called the Band-Aid song.
Yes. No, the Band-Aid is the
Band-Aid is the band.
That did the song.
Sorry. So, yeah. Anyway, we're way off topic here, but it's Friday. We're keeping it light. We're not going to get too deep, but we are going to talk some serious stuff.
Oh my God, we got so many comments on that. Feed the world. Feed the world. Feed the world.
Feed the
Come on,
world. Richard, feed the world, right? I'm saying people.
We got it all wrong.
I knew it was feed the world. Why am I saying people?
Exactly. You've been telling me it's feed the world for the past 2 hours.
I checked out.
out.
So okay, Chris Rolling, box on the way. Thanks you very
Chris.
much, Chris. So what are we fired up about though? This growth. Fired up about growth. Fired up about the industry blazing as it's been since the world really opened back up. We're adding technicians. We're adding, operations. We're adding warehouse. We're adding everything, and with that comes pains and dealing with situations you've never dealt with before. And since May, there has been things that occurred here that I've never seen before, and you don't know how to handle them because you never did them before. So you figure things out on the fly, and that's okay maybe the first time, but after that, now you got to have stuff in place, and we have to have criteria. We have to have guidelines. We have to have systems, processes, procedures. We have to have things that people are going to follow blindly, like the Bible, and it's all going to be done religiously, consistently, day in and day out. Even the simplest, smallest of tests like that, what we were going through yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I know people know this, but I got to put it in writing.
Yeah.
And I got to talk about it. And we're going to have simply what I'll call classes in the new year, where we'll bring in groups of 3 to 5, maybe 5 people, 5 of the techs, some in the office, and we're going to dive in to this manual that we're making. And we had to start somewhere. One of the hottest topics is how to handle warranty calls. So, if you're in the food equipment industry, any part of it, whether you know or you don't know, service companies are dispatched for warranty calls. We have contracted everything, rates, guidelines, different things to follow that we have to follow. And it's a partnership with the manufacturers. Now, that's all well and good, but we're a company ourselves. Service companies are their own companies, and they have to put guidelines. They have to put forth guidelines that make sense for them, because they have to make sure that their business is strong, healthy, and profitable. And as we build it, I've never been here again. I'm saying to myself, my main job is to make sure that this business is protected. We were just talking about dash cams, So, and that's not something I really thought about. I'm not talking about the forward facing towards the tech, but the outward facing, just for the sense of accidents, all these different things that are occurring. So we're going to get to that, where we have to find out what that's going to look like for us. And change is going to be hard. I know there's going to be kickback and pushback, and why are you doing this? And it's really about protecting the business. That's the bottom line.
Let us know in the comments if you guys are using dash cams and how you implemented them and what the response was from your techs.
Yes, please definitely jump in the comments. That's an important one. And so back, talking about this warranty, how to handle warranty calls from the technician standpoint. There's different standpoints. So we have how things are going to go down in the building, how we do things operationally, but then there's also what the technicians got to do in the field. So let's find it. And I've got this whole thing here that we're generating. This is hours yesterday that we were putting this together. So there's a lot more hours involved to get this thing to where we need it to get. The main priority when taking warranty service calls is to ensure we have proper communication from all parties, collect all contact info, job site information, and payment information from the customer, rep, dealer, to ensure we are covered in the event of a non-warranty issue. Protect Malachi Parts and Service first. Number 1. We cannot help anybody else if we're not protecting ourselves first. So back to the plane. When that oxygen thing drops, they tell you, put it on yourself before you help anyone else, because you're good to nobody if you're dead. And we're good to nobody if we're out of business. So we're protecting Malachi first. And I don't think that that's anything different necessarily, but there's been a lot of times in here where it's like, well, just help them and do that for them and do this for them, and freebie. I can't do free anymore. And that's the whole point with what we're going on here, because we got to be healthy and strong. We're at a place where we're growing, we're adding technicians, we're adding customers. It's a beautiful thing, but the more of the more we add, there's got to be something in place that we could all look to and say, this is how we do it. Same thing when you go into like a restaurant and you get chicken franchise on a Monday from cook number 1. When you go in on Friday and Saturday, you want the same chicken franchise that you came to love earlier in the week. So there's got to be recipe guidelines and things that are being followed, so it's the same every time. Same thing for us. So got a big stop sign here, and we're going to go through all this in meetings and individually in classes and everywhere. We're going to be pounding this into the team. Prior to opening a work order, all warranty customers must sign our warranty disclaimer form in its entirety for us to schedule their call. Not new. We have warranty disclaimer forms here. And I know we've gotten very, very strict with it, where we're not actually putting calls to the board, but there was always those times like, well, who's the manufacturer? We know they're good. They're going to pay. No more. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if God himself comes down and says, I just opened the restaurant. Okay, well, you got to sign our warranty form, God.
What would God's restaurant be called? Feed the world.
Feed the world. It would. And when you walk in, that song's playing constantly. Enjoying some pasta. Feed the world. That was me eating pasta.
You slurp it up like that. So Chris Rowling said, we went with Verizon Connect. and we gave plenty of notice to our field. No complaints.
Cool. Now, is that forward at the technician, or is that just outward facing, or both? That's my question. So we have to get these forms signed, and it's going to delay service. And not everyone wants to send it back. Not everybody wants to send it back. There's kickback, and then there's those times where a dealer will say, "Well, listen, I know they don't want to send it back. They don't feel comfortable. Don't worry. If anything happens, we'll cover it." And normally there might be like, "Okay, no problem." No more. That form now has to go to that dealer, and they have to sign and give us a credit card. I'm not going anymore. We're not. I can't tell you how many times we're left holding the bag. Too many times. Well, you could just put it, because then you get back to the dealer and you could just put it to the manufacturer. I'm like, well, no, it ended up not being a warranty call. No, they'll pay it. I'm like, no, they're not going to pay it. They're not going to pay it. You got to pay it. I got there and the unit wasn't plugged in. Hey, put it through. They don't understand. There's someone in that manufacturer's in the office at every manufacturer paying very close attention to their business. I can't submit a unit unplugged. I can't submit a unit with coils cleaned. There's certain things you can't do, and the customer has to pay. And they need to be understanding of that. And the person selling the equipment needs to let them know, if you abuse this piece of equipment, if you place a service call and you say something's not working, it's not plugged in, you're responsible. If you plug a 120 volt unit into a 208 volt outlet and you blow it up, you're responsible for the repair. If you're hosing equipment down at the end of every night with a big hose into the electrical compartment and everything's shorted, you're responsible for the repairs. If there's gas pressure issues long after the install that we probably didn't even do, and we have to come in there and adjust gas pressure and calibrate, that's not going to be covered. You're responsible for the repairs. These are things that people should be telling the end user customer before we get there. It ain't happening. Okay, that's it. That's another story for another day.
So going back to those cameras again, Chris says both. It also gives metrics on driving habits and fuel efficiency.
Cool. Good to know.
So now you have to write that down. Verizon Connect. On your phone. Yes, please write it down on your phone with the Sharpie.
Did it. So then we also, calls come from all different places, not just customers. Sometimes they come from the manufacturer. Sometimes they come from the rep. They come from all different places. So what we're saying here is, we have an email that is kind of general for all these things to come through. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes from the rep, dealer, whoever it might be, we got to make sure that we're CCing everybody in the chain. So if they send us a call for XYZ customer, we're going to reply all to that email with the customer's email showing the disclaimer form. So everyone saw that we sent it, because 2 weeks later, they're going to go, did you schedule the call? I'm going to go, well, do you remember 2 weeks ago when we sent over the disclaimer form? Well, the customer never sent it back. Never got scheduled. Are we going to, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to do one follow-up on that. I'm going to do one follow-up on that. If I'm going to make 24 hours. If I don't get it back within 24 hours, we know we're going to call, or even we're going to call them, probably call them and say, hey, did you get the disclaimer form? Do you understand everything? Can you send it back so we can schedule a call? After that one call follow-up, that's on them. They have to get it to us. There's nothing else. I can't keep calling them and begging them to send it. So that's where it's going to end. So, and by the way, these are things that have to happen, because service companies, they get stuck holding thousands of dollars of bills every year. And I can't let it happen anymore. I just can't, and we're going to have to choose who the best partners are for us. Not everybody's are going to be a great fit. We have to focus on what the best partnerships are going to be for us, for them to be profitable as a company and to do what we need to do. So upon receipt of the signed disclaimer form, it must be attached to the work order within our tablets and within we want everybody to have, we want everyone to have a snapshot of things if they need them. They need to be saved in there in the attachments forever. And again, a lot of these things might be getting done, but I have to make sure that everybody understands, like, this is it. Like, we might say things as a small business. We just sit down, we train people, we say things. Okay, good luck. Now it's time to work. But, this needs to be said now. All correspondence pertaining to the call must be attached to the work order. We need as much information as possible. Again, redundancies of things, service manager and technicians, such as days and times that are best, location of the equipment on site, security measures, on-site contacts, cell phones, emails, authorization numbers must always be put in the PO section of the work order. And then certain manufacturers require authorization from site or prior to dispatch. So we have a list of those, and we have to make sure that that's happening. This is all about covering ourselves and making sure that we're doing the best that we can for ourselves. So in turn, we could be the best for our customers and partners out there. It's all about improvement. A lot of this, like I said, this is not anything new necessarily, but it's never been put down in these terms where we're going to have a manual and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about it and we're going to live by all these things. So that's just one thing for that. And then when you have techs arriving to site. This is the main thing I'll talk about here about what I'm fired up about, because a lot of stuff happens when we get to site, and the technician has a lot, unfortunately, of responsibility here. And this is where we're gonna have to sit down and talk to these guys and let them know this is about the betterment of the company. You know, everybody wants to line their pockets more. Everybody wants more. I think that's human. We want better. We want bigger. We want more. We just want, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because we don't wake up every day to go backwards and say, I want less. Oh, I'll take a 10% pay decrease. That sounds great. You know, I mean, we want more. The only way that we can get more is if we do the things that are going to secure us and keep us profitable and keep us strong and healthy. Do we have some comments?
Yes. So our dude, Jason, the man Hartman, our manufacturer reports sent to manufacturer also included in that process. Wondering for a friend.
Our manufacturing reports also included in that process. So reports that we're sending to the manufacturer?
Sent to manufacturer.
I'm not sending any reports to the manufacturer.
Okay.
Of any kind.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. And by the way, Jason, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. By the way, that's why I just said that. I don't know what are we like. What are we talking about? Let's just be more. I don't know. Manufacturer reports also include. I'm not quite sure. I understand. I'm sorry, Jason. But I can just tell you, I'm not sending manufacturer any report of any sort.
Jason says, so manufacturer knows what is happening in the field.
No, I mean, this is going to open up another fired up topic for me. So all that costs money. I have to pay people to to negotiate with manufacturers. I have to pay people to input, not only invoice stuff in our system. I have to pay people to invoice stuff in their system. Then I have to pay people to go in their system and check stuff. Who pays for that? Nobody. I pay for that. So now if we're talking about going back into after I have them do all that, then going back in and paying these people to now generate reports, they could do it, but it's going to be $50 per report. You know what I mean? I can't just, people have to be paid for these things. So, and it would depend. And I think way back when, not that far long ago, by the way, Jason, not long ago, I think WellBuilt actually might have previous people that are since gone from WellBuilt. I think they were talking about getting some kind of reports from us. I didn't know. We had some conference calls. I was kind of vague, but I think there was a lot of kickback on what I'm saying right now. You want all this information, you want all this stuff, but we have to pay people to do those things, and it's not cheap, So we're going to do what we have to do to let, if we're in an email chain, we're going to reply to the email. We're going to let customers know and let reps and dealers know to the best of our ability. But that's kind of where it's going to end. I mean, I don't think any service company has the wherewithal to continue hiring people to generate these reports. If they want them, there would have to be a fee for that. I mean, we even talk about, forget about like third-party vendors. If you're looking at stuff when you're working with like service channels and Corrigos and stuff, like that's like a whole other thing that we have to pay for those people to input all those invoices. Now we just did it in our system. Now we got to generate a quote in our system. Now I have to go into service channel or Corrigo and I have to input quotes in their system. Then I have to go in there and have to invoice in their system. After I invoice in my system, double time. We sell time. And at the end of the day, there's, we have to hope that the labor and the trip charges and everything that we put forth, all this stuff has to be understood that that's coupled into the things that we're doing on the service end. These things have to be accounted for. So, yeah, I mean, and if a manufacturer requested something specifically, like, hey, Rich, or maybe Geraldine's up there, hey, Jer, can you get me the history on this piece of equipment? Like, we'll happily send that. But we're not going to be sitting here consistently giving like reports of like, fryer repair this and steamer. But we're happy to give any manufacturer a snapshot. Like, hey, Rich, we had another service company work on this. They were there 4 times. We just sent it to you, and you were there 2 times. Can we get your history? We just got their history. You want to compare? See what's going? Like, yeah, hell yeah! Like, that's what we're here for. We'll give you any of that information. We're not, withholding information. It's just a matter of the time, effort, and money through labor that it costs to just have someone sitting there doing all this stuff, because we're inundated right now. We're behind trying to get billing done and trying to get things entered. And then you have the pressure of some manufacturers. If you don't bill it out in 10 days, we're not paying you. And there's fighting words. No, but there's pressure. There's pressure. So anyway.
Jer's watching. She said, hi, I'm Jer.
Jer, jump in the conversation. Feel free.
Quentin Miller says, Prince Castle does this well.
Prince Castle. We used to do so much with Prince Castle. Not anymore. So I'm not really sure. As far as Prince Castle does what well?
What are you talking about?
Providing reports.
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah, no, we used to work with Prince Castle quite often. I don't know. I actually don't know what happened, but
So Jason says, it seems like it would complete the cycle, but I get it. Work costs money. This could be a bigger conversation with more people at the table. It seems like manufacturer could really use it and should maybe figure out how to get it.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that they were trying to figure out how to get it, but the same things I'm saying. Everybody, there's this thing that I think that's like, it's not said, but it's just there. Like, the service company will just do stuff for free. Like, we're just gonna do stuff. Like, just send it. Let them do it. Swing, like the whole swing by when you have a tech in the area to do a site survey. Just swing in. Swing in. Oh, it'll take 2 seconds. Everything's 2 seconds. I love that. When someone says 2 seconds, I fall off my chair and bang my head every time. It'll take 2 seconds. Done. Like, no, nothing's 2 seconds in this industry, in this business. Nothing. The only thing that's 2 seconds is, I don't know, maybe taking the service call. On the board. Anyway.
Quentin says the warranty claim process is what they do well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Man, it's been so long. I have to go back and look and see when the last time we did something for Prince Castle. I mean, back in the day, like when my dad was here, like Prince Castle, because they were in McDonald's, like we did a lot of McDonald's. And I stocked a boatload of parts, the 625 MFY steamers we were doing a lot of, the toasters, of course, and but no, nothing anymore. What's Chris saying from HVAC?
Facebook user says, what's up? Who are you, Facebook user?
Okay. Facebook user, yes. We would like to. Well, what's up? It could be Matt from Kason. Because doesn't he go on Facebook?
No, he's the LinkedIn unknown user. It's Terry Kelly.
Terry Kelly in the building. Electrolux professional. Welcome, Terry. So we're having a fired up conversation here on some different things. Now I'm going to get into this. This will be the final piece of what we're kind of working on. There's a lot more. I'm just touching on these things today. So technicians, main priority as a technician while on a warranty call is to protect the company and the manufacturer. Okay, that's our job. So we must have set guidelines to follow religiously to ensure that and the company's profitability. Truth be told, again, this may or may not be known, but there's still instances where technicians might say things they shouldn't and do things they shouldn't. And listen, we're human. There's going to be problems. We're never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something coming down the line that we didn't expect. But that's okay. We're putting these things in place, and we're going to train, and we're going to beat this into everybody's brains, including mine. So I know this is how we said we're going to do it. I can't go off. I can't go off and start saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to do this way." Like, Rich, you put this in place, and now you're doing this, because I get yelled at sometimes. Like, Rich, you put this in place, and now you're going around it. I'm like, no more. I'm going to follow the rules too. But understand, as a service company here, we are the manufacturer's brand protection. We are their protection. If you contract with us in New Jersey or Service Masters in New York City, you understand that we're going to be here. We're going to respond. You're going to have very well-trained technicians. That's a no doubt right there. We have really highly, amazingly trained technicians, senior guys at it for 10, 20, 30 years here. So you're going to get that, and you're going to get that brand protection. When we get out there, believe me, these guys walk into son of a bangs, son of a booms, F this, F that, F this person, F that manufacturer. When we walk in sometimes, it's heated. We're here to be you. We're your eyes and your ears. We have your back. And I think the only thing we want in return is the same respect. If we go above and beyond and we protect the brand and we get things done, we fix an install that went wrong by Joe Plumber. We come in and we get a first-time fix repair on a unit that didn't even need a part. We just found that something was out of calibration or something like that. If we have to overnight a part and get back the next day and we get this stuff done, if there's any bumps along the way, you should have our back like we have yours. That's what I want to get to. That's what Fed Nation is about. I want to change the conversation and have everybody understand I will go to war for you, but I can't keep going to war and then having someone that's supposed to be on my team or on my side say, well, we're not paying you 5 hours. We're going to pay you 2.5. I'm sorry, you could do that, but if you think the next time you need me, I'm going to run, jump, and crawl, I'm not. It's not going to happen anymore. We're building like crazy here in New Jersey, and we're doing it by being good to people, by doing the right thing, and by being responsive. Anyone who knows that there's a key account here, this phone rings, I answer it. If it's Saturday or Sunday, oh, Rich, man, I'm sorry to bother you on the weekend. People say that all the time. I'm like, dude, don't be sorry about calling me on the weekend. It's my job. You call me on the weekend. Geraldine, she'll answer the phone on Easter Sunday when she's cutting the ham with her family.
She's probably cutting pernil.
She's probably cutting the pernil, So this team responds. I just hung up this past week with a new franchisee, hopefully that we're going to be working with, multiple locations, and they've had such an issue here of people just not coming through. And he's like, Rich, even if they weren't coming until next week, I just never could get anybody on the phone that could tell me. I get passed around, bounced around. I could never know. And I came highly recommended from an industry friend, who I'm very grateful for and thankful they put us in each other's path, because I said, you're going to be taken care of. You're going to be blown away. And I tell everybody, we're not going to be perfect. I want to start this relationship off so you know that. We are not going to be perfect, but what we are going to be is responsive, and we will rectify any situation. Bottom line, I'm here forever. I'm not going anywhere. This will not be a revolving door.
Got some really nice comments here.
Let's go.
Terry Kelly says, I stand behind Maliki 1000%.
Terry, I want to put Electrolux Professional on blast in a great way. So we really have known each other and we've kind of done things throughout the past, but we really just got going in our partnership. And truth be told, we got to get training. I know my guys, even though my guys have worked on combis and all the equipment that you guys have under your brand, including Unified Brands. We've been Unified Brands for 25, 30 years here. But on the Electrolux side, for sure, the combis, I want to get the training for these guys. We could open up our test kitchen if you want other companies to come in and do it, so you can get a whole bunch of people here, or we can send them to you. Whatever's going to happen in the new year, let me know. But the one thing I have found out in talking with different people within Electrolux service is that whatever the service guy or girl needs, you give it to them. We don't care about the overnight charge. We'll pick it up. We don't care about the overtime charge. We'll pick it up. We don't care about anything. Get the customer fixed. Get them up and running. Protect the brand.
Boom.
and I submit a warranty claim. They look at it. They go, you checked off the boxes. You did this. Okay, overnight. You needed overtime on a Saturday. Pay the man. And believe me, any service company worth their weight in gold knows how valuable that is, because we're going to sit in our rooms here and we're going to say, who are the partnerships that are valued the most? Those are the ones that get response same day or next day at worst.
I just got an air horn real quick for that.
Boom.
So and Terry actually said, just message Lisa about that. And so, yes, we are going to call Terry Kelly right after this fired up. But let me bring in some other comments. Facebook user says, the best of the best, creme de la creme. And then Quentin Mueller. It's difficult for technicians who are dealing with a frustrated customer, and technicians sometimes side with the customer to blame the brand to gain favor to relieve the heated situation at the time. But technicians need to stand by the product.
You know, there's truth to that. You know, it's tough. This is where the technician has a really tough position, because they want to be loyal to the company. They want to do the right thing for the manufacturer. But when you're face to face with the customer, you know what? You're in the fire. You're also trying to subdue them. And there's a lot of times that, you know, people, especially in Jersey, I don't know about the rest of the world, but people are angry here. Okay. Myself included. I'm angry. Like, you don't see it, but if you come and like, I invite you in the new year to come to our warehouse and offices, spend a day, spend a week. We'll go to dinner.
Shadow Rich Malachi. Ooh, we should do that.
We don't want to do that. Then everyone will see I don't do anything. I get nothing done. And, you know, honestly, come see what Jersey is, because we get angry in this building. But no, people get angry. And, you know, when people are face to face and they're breathing down your neck and they're over you, like, sometimes these and that's one of the, it goes back to really good training and letting people know they got to keep their cool, and the brand has to stay protected. That brand is our brand. We want that equipment in the field. We want it to be sold over and over and over again. So we keep getting those calls 3, 4, 5 years down the line after the warranty's over. It's a lot of stuff.
Jason says, protect the brand. Nice.
Protect the brand, baby. That's what it is. So we're going to have to, of course, Malachi's brand has to be protected. The company has to be protected. There's a big stop sign here. Boop. Stop. Before proceeding, ensure the unit model serial we are dispatched for is on site and the actual unit in question for service. If it is not down or on site, call the service manager immediately. Here's my what I'm saying. When a technician gets dispatched, let's say for a Prince Castle toaster, let's say we're talking about that. Say he goes for a Prince Castle toaster under warranty. Technician sees the work order in his tablet. There's the model. There's a serial. He gets the site. Manager goes, that's the toaster over there. Technician doesn't know any different. There's 4 toasters on site. He goes to the one they pointed to. The technician needs to verify the model and serial. We have recently dispatched a technician for a unit, and thankfully, you know, this was a senior tech, and he actually took care of this the right way. Yeah, that's the refrigerator over there. There's a couple of them. If he did not go look at the data tag when he opened this up and verify that that's the unit and it's on site and everything's proper, he would have worked on the wrong unit, because it wasn't that one. It was the first one in the line. And truth be told, that one wasn't working either.
Really?
When he all was said and done. So there was actually 2 units down. There was 2 different manufacturers, actually. But these are things that need to be stopped. Guys, we need to pay attention. Sometimes when we get to site, I know everyone just walk in. Where is it? We need to slow down for the first 90 seconds. Let's ensure that we're working on the right piece. We get to site sometimes for a model and serial that's happened. Oh, you're working on that steamer over there. So it's worked on. And then come to find out that steamer was not the right steamer. It's not even in that site. It was at another location. I mean, this is time and money. This is shame on us. Like I said, we're not perfect. So those things have to be, if anything, any issues on that immediately. Per the manufacturer, pictures. This is a lot of manufacturers right now. I got to let technicians know. Pictures of the data plate and any parts that are used are mandatory to be attached to XOI. Never throw out a warranty part. return them within 5 business days. And we're trying to figure out internally how we're going to start getting these parts back, because as we've grown, we're here in beautiful Bayonne, New Jersey. And most of our staff, our technicians, used to live in town. Well, guess what? We've expanded. Most of them don't live in town. So we have to find out a timely fashion how we're going to do that. We're thinking of a couple of different ways. Topic for another day, but I'll definitely like some insight on that when I get further down the line to it. Okay. This is the time struggle. Manufacturers are crunching time, right? We have to crunch some time here too. We have to put some pressure and some heat on the guys. I know it's going to be tough, and I love them, and they work hard. And I'm not trying to piss them off. I'm not trying to give them more anxiety or stress on it. And I don't think this should be. This is 30 minutes. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You have 30 minutes max to determine whether the call is going to be deemed warranty or non-warranty. Not to fully understand, maybe you're working on a combi and it's intricate and, okay, Rich, I need a little more than 30 minutes just to make the diagnosis. But you don't need more than 30 minutes to tell me if this is going to be a warranty call or a non-warranty call. If we get in there and you open the panel and water pours out the side, stop the press. We're not doing goodwill anymore. We could do some goodwill. Don't get me wrong. If things take 2 seconds, okay, no problem. No. I'm talking, we can't start cleaning coils, adjusting gas pressures, and making these units work for the customer. They called us in. There's a problem. Whether it's warranty or non-warranty, there's a problem. If you want it fixed, someone's got to pay for it. And we can't do these things anymore. So we need to find that out in the first 30 minutes. We don't want to discuss anything other than with the service manager. Call the service manager immediately. Let's discuss it. So once the service manager gets on the phone with them, now we're gonna figure out the best route. We're probably gonna have to call the customer, stop the press. We just had an issue with this with the dealer on an ice machine under warranty, not a warranty issue. We did work. We submitted it to the manufacturer. They said we're only gonna pay for this, and this is definitely not a warranty issue. No defect. Boom, boom, boom. We submit that bill to the customer. Customer sends it back to the dealer. Dealer says, you should have told the customer before you did this that this wasn't going to be covered. We're not paying this bill either. Okay. Well, I'll send it back to the manufacturer. Now your warranty's void. I'll never come back out again until that bill's paid.
I actually have a question for you here.
Do it.
Quentin asks, do you honor a manufacturer's warranty period on any equipment without the customer having a planned maintenance program?
Do I honor a manufacturer's warranty period on any equipment? So I guess if you're saying if a person buys a new piece of equipment within that 1 or 2 year period that the unit's under warranty, do I honor the manufacturer warranty if they're dispatching me and paying me? Yes. I mean, I have nothing to do with. I can't make a customer get a planned maintenance schedule on anything. I can't make them. I know there's a lot of chatter for many, many, many years on putting these programs in place when the equipment is sold and when things are being done. I've yet to see anything on that level. So it's really still on the customer. I mean, if the rep and dealer are telling them, you better have water filtration on this steamer and you better, have a maintenance, like that's where it kind of ends. You can't make somebody do it. So at the end of the day, if I'm in a partnership with XYZ manufacturer, whether that customer put a PM in place or not, I still got to go. Now, when I get there and we open up the cavity and we look in the boiler and there's lime scale buildup 2 inches thick, we know that the last 10 months they haven't ran any maintenance. So we're going to stop dead in our tracks, call the manufacturer from site, perhaps let them know, like, listen, here's what it is. Okay, we're not going to, maybe they'll say, okay, we'll pay you for your trip out for the diagnosis, end it there, and then you can quote them the repairs. We're not covering anything. So there's got to be a lot of communication on things like that, of that nature, because there is a lot of equipment being sold. I would say, my God, I'm just going to throw it out there. I think there's probably 99% of equipment is being sold without a PM. No one's putting PMs in place. Nobody, unless you are a house account here, and we have like 50 or so customers that actually have planned maintenance schedules with us, agreements. If they buy a new piece of equipment, we loop that into the deal. But if it's just like customers that are buying things, they're not really our customer. It's unfortunate. They're going to have trouble. We know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, if they're not taking care of it.
2 comments I'm going to bring in here. Terry says, Electrolux Professional will always authorize 1 hour for evaluation and travel to site if we issue the pre-authorization order.
My man, that's all we could ask for. Quite honestly, as long as we're covered for the first trip and we could actually give, like, that's why I said, like, stop, text, stop. Let's discuss this after 30 minutes or less and say, like, listen, you walk in like, Rich, this thing is nothing wrong with this unit. This was turned up wrong. This was being used wrong. So there's user error. And I just found out that they're doing it. Like, whatever it might be, stop. We have an obligation to the partnership with the manufacturer first, not the rep, not the dealer, with the manufacturer. That's who we signed off contracts with. We're the brand protection. We're the eyes and ears, like I said, and we're the ones who have to get. It's got to happen, but there's got to be communication. And to have that's having your guys back. Give me the 1 hour trip. Give me the 1 hour on site, and that's it. Let's move on. If it's going to be covered under warranty, cool. If not, I'll quote the customer. Have a nice day. Rocking. Fired up.
Quentin says, Quentin Muller, why don't we learn from the motor industry? Because your car won't hold warranty without a service plan.
Yeah, I mean, the automotive field, I mean, that's definitely been compared to, I use comparisons to that all the time when I'm talking with customers too. I'm like, you just bought a Mercedes-Benz. Are you going to ride that for 100,000 miles and never get an oil change? Are you never going to change your fluids, coolant levels? Are you going to rotate your tires? No brake pads, no rotors. We don't need any of that. You're going to die. You're going to crash. You're going to die. No, I mean, honestly, you don't do that. It's the same thing with your equipment. I try to explain that to people. I even use like people. I'm like, you go to the doctor, you get checkups.
Oh yeah, when's the last time you went?
Not about me, Lisa. This is about people. I've been young. I just got old. I don't know what happened. So and you get checkups because parts fail. Unfortunately, like hearts and livers and kidneys, like parts fail. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our equipment. I mean, it should be a no-brainer, but it's not. It's tough. It's tough, man. Not everybody sees the value. And I'm not going to spend hours and days and weeks trying to show them the value. I'm going to present it to them one time. Like, this is what we do. Here's some customers you can call and see how they saw an uptick in the service, and then they start to see that level off after a couple of years, and they see the emergency calls going away. They see all those expensive boiler changeouts going away, and now we're maintaining it. Some parts are still going to fail, but we could be ahead of it now. I think that's what really being proactive is. It's like, okay, we're going to go in, and I go in and I work on a walk-in box, and we hear the contactor chattering, or we hear the compressor making a really loud noise, like listen, this compressor is going to go, Now we have the option to say, hey, listen, let's get this done now so you don't lose $20,000 in product in 3 weeks. That's what it is. You might spend $2,000, $3,000 on that compressor change out, but it's a lot better than losing all that food and production. It's a lot more money in the long run.
He also adds, should we spend more time educating our customers in this regard?
Hell yes. Yes. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, Lisa, I know she's kind of not liking this anymore, but Club Fed, as we build that membership out, I really do believe we're going to get to put some valuable content behind that membership, where we're going to be doing some training videos, and it's going to be soft skills. It could definitely be training from the service perspective to restaurant end users that we'll be able to put forth to train others. Like, this is what you should be telling. Like, let's get some technicians in a room. Maybe they don't want to get on film, but let's get all the points from them. And whether I do it or someone else does it, here's your top 10 things you need to know when you're purchasing a new piece of equipment that's going to keep that running for a decade or more, that's going to have max uptime. Here's what you need to do. If you don't do it, shame on you. Let's shame these people.
No.
I won't shame.
But in a previous comment that I didn't have a chance to bring up, but he also adds that conflict resolution mechanisms is key for technicians when dealing with irate customers. So that would be something that we would definitely include in a gold collar class. That's a gold collar class right there. Conflict resolution. These are skills that some people just have it in them, right? I do think it can be taught. I think over time, the more you, like anything else, the more you talk about it, the more you train on it, the more insight you have as to, especially for what's the reason for this? Like, I don't care. I just here to fix a piece of equipment. There's bigger stuff at hand, because most technicians are not complacent.
Most technicians want to be challenged. They want to learn and they want more. They have these minds. They constantly want information. This is something that is probably very neglected. We're always training on equipment, but this is where the soft skill stuff's going to come in, especially with gold collar. You know, I did videos on Malachi TV with the 10 gold collar commandments. You know, whether those are going to be set in stone at some point, I don't know, but we really want to drill those down, have those to be part of what we're going to be talking and teaching about. But yeah, Quentin, you're hitting on a lot of great points. I'm glad you jumped in on this conversation today. Thank you for all the time and effort.
And so I have to pause you, Rich, because your sister says, say hi to Carson before I lose my mind with the hello, Uncle Richie.
Wait, say hello?
Yes.
What?
He says, say hello to Carson.
Carson, I want to know right now why you will not leave your mother alone when she's trying to work. All right? Uncle Richie's coming down with Christmas presents in a couple of weeks. Get ready. Big time things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My nephew, Carson.
Aw. Well,
It's too
Richard,
funny.
You've been talking a while.
I'm all fired up over here.
I know you're fired up.
Okay, I'm gonna end this here. I won't get really. Anyway, the last thing I'll say is there's another stop sign here because I want to continue to reiterate.
Stop signs.
Oh yeah, I want to continue to reiterate. Time matters. We can no longer, sometimes, in the service business here, when you're at that service desk, time can fly. And it can get away from you really quick. You got your horse blinders on and you're talking to this tech and you're talking to that tech and you're emailing this person and you're doing this quote and you're approving this and you're looking at that and you're doing that. And I'm probably texting Geraldine 15 times to do something for me. And it's 5 o'clock. And it's like, wait a second. Didn't I send this guy on this call 4 hours ago? What are you doing? Oh, man, this is a mess over here. Who'd you tell? You can't just do this. And especially if it's a warranty call, we can't just spend 4 hours. Like we got to have discussions. Time matters. We need to slow down in order to speed up, to get things done properly, but also to take some of the pressure off the tech. Let us make the decision. We know what we need to do operationally to keep things strong, profitable, and healthy here. So we need to have those healthy conversations to keep things going. Time matters, and we're not going to be able to, like I said, 30 minutes. We need to have conversations faster and understand things. We can't just let guys go off into the sunset at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock rolls around. They're still somewhere. Whoa, hold on. Well, this is not working and that's not working. We need to make sure, because when I submit something and all of a sudden like 8 hours, the manufacturer's like, no, we'll pay you 3 hours because this is this and this. We have to talk about it. We have to get the manufacturer on the phone from site. We have to talk about it. We got to do these things. It's got to happen every single time. So there's a lot of things to happen here to make this business stronger and better. Things that we've really dived in to look at that we haven't looked at so strongly in the past for various reasons. The growth spurt and the growth here is really making us dive in and look at that stuff. And we're gonna make the adjustments. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna evolve. And it's gonna take every bit of the next 12 months, I know, to get to the point I want to get to. But 2023 is going to be a very strong year. Next year is definitely a head down, guidelines, systems, procedures, training, getting closer to the people here and getting everybody understanding the culture of doing good, the culture of protecting the brand, protecting the company, so we can be here for the next 50 years for my nephew, Carson.
Boom.
And that's it. So it's Friday, Lisa.
Tell your friends goodbye.
I got to say goodbye to all my friends.
But I put up a conversation. Quentin said, love these conversations. And thank you for being a part of these conversations.
Yeah. Thank you so much for jumping in. If again, FedCon, these conversations are going to be happening at FedCon, and it's going to be an amazing place to help be part of the change. So, and it's also, when you're talking about digital and branding and all these things that are necessary for what's next. I mean, you look at stuff that's happening with Meta and VR, and listen, you might think you don't need to be a part of it, but and you don't have to be, but you're going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind. I don't want you to be left behind. I want you to be standing next to me, my brothers and sisters, building this thing up. As Roger Smeltzer would say, all ships rise with the tide. It's Friday. It's the holiday season. I hope you're going to go do something fun this weekend. Whatever you do, make it count. And we will see you next week. as we roll through December. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, have a great weekend. See you next week.